After months of planning and preparation, the big day has finally arrived. We're here at Xantrex headquarters in Burnaby, British Columbia, for the installation of our Freedom eGen lithium battery system. This isn't our first time here. As part of the project planning, we've met with engineers and technicians from Xantrex and Pacific Mobile Power Systems, the authorized service center and installer for Xantrex products in the RV, truck, and marine markets. So there's been a lot of planning for this unique project, with every detail of our motorhome taken into consideration. That includes our meeting with Andre at DNA Custom Metal Fabrication, who widened our battery tray in preparation for today's install. So we've got the extra space we need for both our Xantrex lithium battery and our new full throttle AGM chassis batteries made by Fullriver. We mentioned that lithium batteries can't be charged when the temperature is below freezing, which is one of the unique benefits of the Freedom eGen system. It's self-heating. What we didn't yet show you was how we're protecting the battery from excessive heat, which isn't especially good for any battery. Since our battery compartment is directly adjacent to our engine and exhaust system, we're installing insulation specially designed for use in race cars to block extreme heat. We have two temperature sensors back here, and while we'll include more details in an upcoming follow-up video, suffice it to say that after already having driven a couple of long days at highway speeds with ambient temperatures in the 90s, the Freedom eGen battery has stayed well below its maximum allowable temperature the entire time. Now that the insulation is in place, let's get to the main event. We're having the system installed professionally because this isn't a DIY project, so we're sharing an overview of the system rather than a step-by-step tutorial. Now that we have the RV and all the components together, the engineers and techs review the plans for the job. Jeff and Gareth from Pacific Mobile Power Systems review our current equipment and layout to make sure everything goes off as planned. There's also another film crew here to document this unique project, and lots of Xantrex staff were excited to see us here for the actual installation after so much planning. We have a great day and a comfortable place to work, and can't wait to see the project come to fruition. This is the battery, and what's that box sitting in front of it?
So this is the BMS. This is actually the brains of the system. Monitors everything, makes sure that the battery is being charged properly, monitoring temperatures, making sure it's not too hot, too cold, all those kinds of things. So this is actually the brains of the system. This is the bronze.
That's the battery itself right there.
600 amp hours.
600 amp hours, and can be installed outdoors because it heats itself.
Correct.
Look at the size of those cables that come out of it.
These are monstrous.
It's amazing. And this is the plug that it hooks into. So the battery monitoring system can manage the whole thing. It's a work of art. If you recall, when we widened our battery tray, we installed two brand new full throttle AGM chassis batteries made by Fullriver on the left, and temporarily reinstalled our old AGM house batteries on the right. The first step today will be to permanently remove those old house batteries to make room for the new Freedom eGen lithium. Since this is a unique installation, Jeff and Gareth are going to test fit the new battery to make sure all our measurements were correct. The huge cables can only bend so far, so it's important to figure out the best way to route them over the BMS. There are lots of new cables to run, and a new bus bar is in order, mounted on the back wall of the compartment. Every cable is custom sized, measured, and cut, and new ring terminals are crimped into place. Heat shrink tubing applied to the ends keeps things clean and professional looking. We're almost ready to permanently install the lithium battery, and one of the last things to do before it can go in is to confirm the exact mounting location of the BMS. The cables are large and not that flexible, so we want the position to be just right. One last terminal ring gets crimped to the end of a cable. In addition to heat shrink tubing, Pacific Mobile Power Systems uses split loom just about everywhere. It gives everything a factory look, and protects the cables from wear all at the same time. The last of the wiring goes into the battery compartment, followed by a final positioning of the BMS, and it's time to secure it into place. There's still lots of other cabling to be run. Some of it has to go across the axles, requiring a greasy reach up into the chassis. Gareth also spent a considerable amount of time running cables and installing gear in the basement. But just so you don't think we didn't pitch in, we did our share of crawling around to help too. After all the times I've squeezed into our basement for various projects, you'd think I'd be right at home down here by now.
How is it under there?
It's tight and hot.
Now comes the moment of truth, the final installation of the battery. It weighs 160 pounds, which is over 100 pounds lighter than the 4 AGM batteries it replaces, but packs the usable amp hours of 10 of those AGMs.
That's a momentous occasion.
That was a very big deal right there.
Yes.
This is a very exciting moment.
Now plug it in.
Would you plug it in, please?
The plugs reach, the straps are in place, and Gareth continues connecting everything together. At the same time, we turn our attention to the control panel. We've marked out the location next to the fridge, and it's time to make the opening for it. It's not every day that we cut a large hole in a wall, especially one that's so visible. So yes, this was probably the most nerve-wracking moment of the project. But it fit right in, which is what measuring twice will get you. Running these cables was a real challenge. Across the axle, up into the basement, under the fridge, across the bathroom below the shower, and fished up the wall to the opening we made here. After identifying each cable with a permanent tag, Gareth makes the final connections. And the beautiful control panel fits like a glove. A brilliant part of the system is how Xantrex overcame the issue of charge profiles. Optimally, flooded lead acid, AGM, and lithium batteries each require different charge profiles, but lithium is the most different of the three. So charging any lithium battery with the same charging system as an AGM or flooded battery is a suboptimal choice, since no one charge profile can be optimized for both. Xantrex's solution? Program the inverter charger to optimally charge the lithium battery and install a separate, dedicated 3-stage charger for the chassis batteries. It was a simple, elegant way to provide the best possible charge for both our lithium house batteries and our AGM chassis batteries whenever we're connected to shore power or running the generator. We chose the full throttle AGMs instead of flooded batteries because they're completely maintenance-free and don't outgas, have higher cold cranking amps, and lower resistance, which means they can accept a charge faster. We want to take good care of these great pieces of gear, and the proper charging cycle is the best way to do that. Our old solar controller wasn't lithium compatible, so it's gone, replaced by this new breaker, which we can still use as an on-off switch for our solar panels. The new Xantrex solar controller goes down here in the electrical compartment. You may recall that we removed our old cord reel to make space for it. We're waiting to install the new cord reel to allow easier access for running cables today. Now that the solar controller is neatly in place, today's work is complete. Not only is this controller lithium compatible, but it's large enough to handle more solar panels when we're ready for that part of the project. All that's left to do is turn the system on and use it. We'll be reporting back on our experience with the Xantrex Freedom eGen lithium system as we get more experience with it. Stay tuned for Part 5, when we'll be installing our new Glendinning power cord reel. That will include a trip back to see Andre at DNA, where he'll be fabricating a set of custom mounting brackets, allowing us to hang the reel from the top of our electrical compartment. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications. If you'd like to support the production of these videos, get access to special premium content, and even get your name in the credits, visit us at patreon.com/RVgeeks to find out how you can play a part in helping us create more content for our fellow RVers. A special thanks to everyone who's already done that. As always, safe travels, and thanks for watching.